Yeah, and welcome. I'm Brett Papa, and today we're going to cover a topic I get asked about all the time, and that's hybrid picking. Why do you want to know how to hybrid pick? Because it's freaking awesome. And if you're like me and forgot how to alternate pick, because someone tried to change the way that you picked, curse you forever. Somebody tried to change the way I picked. I had it. I could rip like a freaking machine gun, and then somebody's like, "You're doing that all wrong. Don't do it like that." Ruined it forever. Well, hopefully not forever. I'm trying to get it back, but that was like 20 years. So I had to develop some way to play riffs quick again, and I saw my buddy ripping with his fingers, and I was just like, "Oh my Lord, have mercy. What are you doing?" He's like, "Dude, it's hybrid picking. Everybody's doing it." And I was like, "Okay." So he basically started me off on very simple lick ideas. Now, it helps to have a little bit of nails, just not too much. It's not like you need to go to the, get your nails done and get some happy faces put on there or anything, or big acrylics. Just sticking out past your fingertips a little bit. Maybe I can get down on this camera here. No, neither camera's working. Okay, so just long enough. Now, a riff idea. Go to a pentatonic, say A, because we always use it. You're going to do, pretty much, you're going to pick the first note on the G, pull off 7 to 5. Then I'm going to go up to D7, and I'm going to stack these two notes. Now, when I go down to the G string again, I'm going to pluck it instead of pick it. Go back to the D7, and then I'm going to go to G5 and pluck that. So the first one on the G is picked, pull off, pick D7, and then G7, pluck, pick D7, pluck G5. Okay? Doesn't sound like much, but you get this. So it has humble beginnings, but it can sound vicious. So once you get that down with one finger, and literally start with something that silly, okay? Then you can try that same thing, because if you notice, we went back to the G string and we plucked it twice. Just because you can. Never mind. So you pluck the G string twice using one finger, but why not use two? It makes that G string happier. So we got, right? So the first time maybe I'll use my ring finger, pluck, and then the next time I go down, I'll use my index finger. So we got, now you can also use very simple pentatonic exercises. So say you already know your first position, a minor pentatonic, you can right? So you go 8 to 5, and then you're going to go back and forth between the B and E twice. Okay, so B8, E5, B8, E5. So you got, do the same thing on the next string. Okay, now you can also, once you get that down with one finger, since you're plucking it twice, do it two different fingers. That made no sense. Use both fingers. There we go. All right, so. And then you gotta figure out which way. I'm sitting there trying to figure this out on camera, which you should never do, by the way. Which finger I like to use first, and I came to the realization on here camera with you that I don't have any sort of way of doing it. I don't have a pattern. They randomly fly in there. It's like, one's like, no, it's my turn. And the other one's like, no, it's mine. So I think I think the finger I use most would be my middle finger, just because it's right there. It's very accessible. Now, when I'm going to do string skipping, say I want to skip over, I'm on the G string, I want to skip over the B, go to the E, then it makes sense to use my ring finger, because look at the spacing. I mean, it almost sets you up. See, my finger is naturally right there. So I got my pick and my pluck, right? So on that one, I'm going to go 5, 7, 8 on the G, and I'm going to pluck the 5th on the E. I'll come back with a pick onto the G and pull off 8 to 5. So I got. Now I'm going to go to the B string, 8 to 5. And then I'm going to go to the G and B, so they're right next to each other. So I'll use the index finger. So I pull off 8 to 5. And then I go G8, B8, G8, B5. And then I'm going to do a run where I'm going to pull off on the G string, 8, 7, 5, 7, 5. And then I'm going to do one of those stacking runs again. Okay, so the whole thing. Right? Pluck. And then index. And then I'm going to go here. And I'm going to use my index again. Right? Because it's all really close quarters. So the big string skip, I'll use my ring finger. Now you could use both fingers. Right? And it would work great. But oftentimes, again, if they're close together, I'll just use my index finger. I mean, both will work, but it takes a lot more work to get 2 fingers going, especially if you're not used to that. So just start out your licks and your runs using 1 finger. Love that riff. And it's so much easier hybrid pick. So you pull off 8 to 5 on the E, and then you stack B8, E8, B8. Sounds like a new Star Wars character. Okay, so we got. And then roll over to 5 on the B. Hammer onto 8, and then pluck. So anytime I'm on that E, except for the first time I pick, it's all going to be a pluck, right? Right on a lick like that, I'll use a different spacing, right? So I got my pick and my ring finger. Slide in 6 and 5. I'm on the G and the E. 7 and 7. 9 and 9. But I can use pick and my ring finger. Now you can also do bending runs, which makes it a lot easier. Right? And so you just start to sneak it in instead of having to always alternate pick and do stuff like that. A lot of us, you know, might not ever just become really ripping fast alternate pickers, which I wish we all could. But, you know, it might not be as cool if we could all do it. A lot of people can do it these days. But if that's kind of a challenge for you, then try the digits. I mean, I see all sorts of ripping shred guys. If you don't know who Greg Howe is, he can pick, by the way. So this doesn't apply because he doesn't have to do it, but he hybrid picks all the time, and he does runs that are crazy. Guthrie Govan, another guy who's just a freaking monster. But you see all these guys start to incorporate it because it really is a very efficient technique. And it doesn't require a lot of movement on your hand. Now, if you want to start incorporating the other fingers, you have 3 fingers, try it on rhythm, like over chords, like maybe an A minor chord. right? So instead of doing all that picking and having your pick have to move all around, try using these 2 fingers, then 3 fingers, and see if you can start to incorporate and have it feel more natural that way, because you got to be great rhythm players too. I mean, it's the launch pad for your song, right? That's the part where you make your singer shine. I wrote this part just for you to shine. Do it, and I'll play a tender hybrid picked melody, and then that 72 bars in the middle, I can shine. No, I'm just kidding. It's not about shining, it's about the song. So use your hybrid picking to help you write a killer song. And if you rip, more power to you. If not, and it's just an amazing way to create an awesome melody, then that is freaking awesome too. But you have this hand, and if you're just doing this, you're selling yourself short when you could do this. So try that out. I'm going to make a bunch more stuff on hybrid picking coming in the future, maybe even a whole product on it. So if you want some more kind of hybrid type ideas, leave them in the comment section below, like what you want to see, more fast pentatonic runs, more patterns, more uses of how to be melodic with it, whatever. Just let me know what you want to see. You guys are awesome. Thank you so much for the support. You're amazing. I never forget how awesome you are. Catch you guys later.